In today's episode, we talk about prioritization, managing your time, and getting the right work done. Welcome to episode 49 of the Honest Entrepreneur Show. My name's Tom Ross, and let's get into it. We're one away from 50, guys. This is scary. We're going to hit 100 at no time. And as always, appreciate you being along for the ride. I have nothing to share today, so let's get straight into the question.
This question is from Tamer. Tom, how do you prioritize or plan your activities every day, week, month, etc., to make sure you're putting your energy into the right areas?
That is an incredibly difficult but good question, Tamer. My answer is I don't know if I have the perfect answer. I will share what kind of works for me, but I definitely don't have a perfect system. If I did, I'm sure I could be a billionaire by now. So for me, I struggle with this, and I've talked about this openly because with a bit of common sense and a bit of experience, I think most of us could probably sit down right now and list 5,000 things that would help move the needle just a little bit in the right direction for our online business or venture. And this might be stuff like, I know it's good to post content on LinkedIn, or to respond to all of my followers, or to release courses, or to mentor people, or to do this and that and that and that, and a billion other things, right? But the whole point is, we are humans. We have a finite amount of time in our day, so we can't do it all. And that's where prioritization comes in. We are essentially constantly guessing what are the things that are going to have the greatest amount of impact, and then we're trying to just do them, unfortunately not get to the other stuff, and then hope that that has the biggest impact on moving the needle. And that is, for me, one of the toughest bits of entrepreneurship, because it involves a lot of things, right? It involves guesswork, because there's some things where obviously it's it would be nice, but you're pretty sure it's not going to have a huge effect. But I probably have 20 to 30 things right now that I'm pretty sure could have a big impact. And so even just picking amongst those can be really difficult. And so it's guesswork, it's hypothesizing, and then really it's being pretty unrigid. So I like to think I try stuff all the time and then I'm not fixed. So if it doesn't pan out, I quickly have to pivot. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. They're like, yep, I'm all in, I'm doing this now. And then they stay in their lane, whether it works or not. So for me, I like to try and be a little bit more agile. I'm not always, sometimes I do get stuck on stuff, but I'm learning more and more and more the importance of try it, did it work? Not really, okay, scrap that one, on to the next one that I think is going to work. So that would be one big tip. I think as well, man, this really is a tough question. I think just measuring, paying attention, regularly auditing is a great idea. I think you really need to be looking on a regular basis, even weekly. I'm starting to do a little weekly recap of my work and the team's work and be okay, what was actually having the most impact? I talked recently about how I do this with my content. So I'm doubling down on the best performing content, scrapping the worst. And so by doing that continually, my content gradually shifts in the right direction because I get more and more better content and less worse content dragging it down. You're essentially trying to do the same thing with your to-do list, where every week you're okay, what really moved the needle and what was kind of busy work or didn't map out well? And then you very, very gradually shift that. So that is the macro answer, but this is the honest entrepreneur. And the honest answer is that can be really difficult. That's one of those things. It's great in theory, and you might even do it a few weeks, but then you've got weeks and months where your schedule gets steamrolled. And actually, even though there's all these big impactful things you should be doing, you get caught up in reactive busy work because all kinds of shit gets dropped in your plate and just completely smashes everything to bits. So that's the reality. You're human, don't beat yourself up. I try not to. I try just to do my best. I try to have my little task time blocking and my to-do lists and my apps telling me, here's what's screamingly urgent and you should be working on. And I try and drop the dumb shit in my day. But guess what? I get bugged with stuff by the team. Sorry, Marco, not in a horrible way. Marco never bugs me, actually. But, I get all kinds of questions, my Slack's blowing up, my email inbox needs catering to. And there's stuff as well where it might not move the needle a huge amount, but it's my principles. I have to get back, with my personal brand I'm doing here, I have to get back to everyone. That's very important. I know I could have redesigned my website by now and grown my newsletter exponentially and launched a course on Skillshare and all this other stuff that probably would have moved the needle more. But I don't want to ignore Duncan in the comments because he left a really heartfelt comment, and I don't want to slap him in the face by ignoring him and not responding. And I don't know where the name Duncan came from, but that would be my thoughts on this, man. Like, we're all in the same boat. I think we all struggle with this. I guess my one final tip, which is working for me recently, is like a bit of help and delegation. I luckily can do that because I have the team here. So I'm getting people who can help organize my schedule a bit better because it's pretty chaotic these days, who can assist me and just help me stay on top of stuff, because otherwise it's a bit of a shit show, to be honest. So I hope that helps. Tama, I appreciate you as well so much. Tama is the freaking man, one of my favorite community members here. And that leads me to my question of the day. So the question of the day is, do you struggle with prioritization? If I could speak, do you struggle with prioritization? And if so, is there one task which you know you should be doing right now? It's on your to-do list, but you keep moving into tomorrow. You keep pushing it. What is that task that you know you should be doing? I want you guys to call yourselves out on this in the comments, because hopefully that's going to make you accountable and make you actually go and tackle this important task. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm really enjoying the YouTube show. If you are too, then be sure to hit the subscribe icon and tick the little bell to get notifications when I post new content on this platform.